Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. It's budget time for the City of Swift Current, and Mayor and Council have voted in favor of a 3.21% tax increase for capital projects and a zero increase for civic services. As the City of Swift Current continues to move forward on a number of projects, upgrades will be made at the iplex over the coming year. And here in the Southwest, the City of Swift Current is keeping a close watch on the creek flow on a daily basis.
Thanks for joining us here today. The City of Swift Current has announced a tax increase for 2015. And in today's top story, we'll find out what it means to you as a local taxpayer.
It's budget time for the City of Swift Current, and Mayor and Council have voted in favor of a 3.21% tax increase for capital projects and a zero increase for civic services. And when broken down, it works out to $2.66 per month for the average homeowner. Expenses in the 2015 budget include over $51 million for operating and utilities, $29 million for capital expenses, coming to a total of over $80 million. And some of the highlights of this year's municipal budget include upgrades to the 2nd Avenue overpass, the rollout of a fixed route transit system, upgrades to the city RCMP detachment, and a continued focus on street and sidewalk maintenance. And although the allotted budget for 2015 is much higher than that of 2014, the city's deputy CAO and CFO indicates there were some cost-saving measures along the way to help keep operating expenses down for the coming year.
Some positions that we've not filled that have become vacant. And we took a hard look at some areas in terms of where we could make some changes without impacting the service level, and we've managed to do that in a few cases as well. And everybody was just very diligent in terms of going back and submitting a budget that they believe they can live with in their department.
An overall budget which Mayor Jared Schaefer says is fair, with a modest tax increase for local residents, while operating on the motto of doing more with less and still offering a comfortable lifestyle for residents. And a budget which requires little defense from council this time around.
It was either zero, and if it wasn't a zero, you had to, put on your boxing gloves and talk about why you're asking the community to pay a little bit more. And we had a big discussion last year in terms of changing our financial strategy. We've been really focused on improved transparency, and I think we've done that with the budget process. The information that we get out to our community, whether it's through the media, whether it's the brochure that gets sent out, people I think have a more clear picture now of what they pay to the city and what services that they get in return for that. So I think that that certainly changes the focus for me from being defending to having a good discussion in our community about it.
Schaefer adds that the budget falls in line with the needs of a growing community, as the City of Swift Current strives to meet its target of a population of 25,000 by 2025.
Yeah, you know what, we look at our population. I think you can certainly feel it in the community when you're driving around. You see all the new construction, pretty obvious metrics there. The face of our community, there's so much new ethnic diversity in Swift Current. So we're using the same population numbers that the province of Saskatchewan proudly touts when they're talking about a growing population, and that's got us at 18,000. I know the arm of Swift Current's growing, and even when you talk to a lot of the mayors in small communities, certainly some are having a tougher time, but smaller communities around the city are growing as well. So it's great to see that long 60-year trend of stagnant or declining population going the other way.
Copies of the 2015 City of Swift Current municipal budget are available from City Hall.
That looks like a government program.
The annual spring runoff is underway, and at this point in time, near normal water levels are expected across most regions of the province.
Ongoing mild temperatures have initiated the spring runoff in many areas of the province, and with the lack of snowfall compared to previous winters, the Water Security Agency is forecasting normal runoff conditions across most of Saskatchewan, except for the central grain belt, where some areas could experience above normal water flows. And here in the southwest, the city of Swift Current is keeping a close watch on the creek flow on a daily basis.
That's right. You know, with this warm weather, we could see a lot of our snow disappear, and we'll be out of this in no time. They have released water during February, so you know the dam is not a big issue, but there is stuff coming in. They have to maintain it at their first full service level or around there. They can't let it go over too high, so they have to maintain that. So they'll be opening it to just keep that level down. The ice is very eroded. It's lifted off the bottom and it's starting to move out. And so we're hoping that there's no ice issues like we had last year. And, you know, all things being equal, if the ice melts and moves out, we should have a clear path through the city and we should be okay.
As always, you're reminded to obey the barriers in place near any body of water, as the combination of ice and fast-flowing water creates an additional hazard for everyone. The Water Security Agency will continue to release its monitoring maps and other updates on a provincial scope as necessary in the coming weeks.
I have a family of 5, myself, immediate family of 5, and my whole family has put health and vitality #1 priority. We knew we've always been sort of a family that has been relatively fit and involved in exercise, but a lot of the times we also recognized we were missing a little bit of the vitality, a little bit of the energy, and so we were looking for solutions. My wife has had some ailments with thyroid issues. My son's had some concussion issues. We all recognized we needed a product. We were looking for ways to improve our vitality, to improve a way to nourish our body better. And so we did. We looked and we found and utilized, are now utilizing this product, Kyani. The product is starting to work so well for ourselves that others in our family, my wife's mom and dad, Bert and Gina, started to recognize the value of the product as well, and they are now users of the product and has also become distributors of the product. Once people start to see and recognize the change that it can make in your body and in your lifestyle, people quickly become very interested in wanting to use the product on a permanent basis, and as well as looking at how can they start sharing this vision, this idea with others as well, to give them the same opportunity.
Visitors to the credit union iplex in Swift Current will see some improvements to the facility in the coming year. We have more in this report.
As the city of Swift Current continues to move forward on a number of projects, upgrades will be made at the iplex over the coming year. The announcement of the installation of an elevator system was unveiled during the 2015 budget presentation in Chambers, a move which the city's general manager of community services says has been in the works for a number of years.
Right now you've pretty well got to drive to the north or the second level to get up top to the spectator areas, and conversely you've got to drive back to the main level at the south side to go into the actual lobby and to the curling rink lobby. We actually did have this project as one of the iplex renovations in 2006-2007, and it was cut at the time just due to funds. There was a lot of shortening of the square footage and amenities in the building, and slowly we're getting some of the really good ones back, and this is one of them.
Robson indicates that the new elevator, which is budgeted at a cost of $200,000, will benefit all patrons to the iplex.
It'll be a service/passenger accessible elevator, so we're looking forward to that. It'll also cater very well with the auditorium, the lounge, and our kitchen up there, who will also be receiving a little bit of renovations.
Work on the installation of the elevator system at the iplex will take place in stages through the coming months, with plans to have the project completed in time for the 2016 Ford World Women's Curling Championship.
Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.